Hello everybody, today we're going to talk about a great topic. This is something a lot of renters call us and talk about, and we don't talk about it enough, so we wanted to put this video for you, and that is, we didn't buy because we were afraid of making a mistake.
And that is a result of fear, Gamalier, right?
Correct.
And it's a big obstacle for a lot of folks, right? I mean, ourselves come across fear as well, and there are ways that you can overcome fear, and that's what we're going to provide as far as the information we're going to be presenting to you in this video.
And nowadays, a lot of people are talking primarily about two things, and that is interest rate. Interest rates are too high, prices are too high, and they've been holding. I know people that have been 3 years, they've been waiting for the perfect interest rate to show, but they don't realize when interest rate goes down, prices will go up, and there's more competition.
More competition.
The great thing about now with this market is not only there's good programs that their lenders are offering, but also inventory is starting to increase. It's giving you the opportunity to choose from more properties and taking your time to buy them. Instead of waiting for those prices to go down or interest rate to go down, and being in a war that we were a few years ago, where 20 offers are coming in and you're getting desperate and people are paying too much for their home and they're just buying whatever homes come into the market because there's only limitation of the home in the inventory. That's one of the reasons why you need to get ready and understand the market.
Exactly. And you want to go ahead and take that big step. I know it's scary at times to think about purchasing a home, but look at the other way, right? Throwing money out the window.
Yes.
When you're renting. I mean, you're just making your landlord or corporation that owns your complex rich, right? Their buildings are getting larger, right?
It's funny, right? It's funny how, you got some investors out there that tells you owning a home is not an investment, but they turn around, buy the property and rent it to you.
Yeah,
and you actually pay their mortgage. So when you own a home, obviously, and you stop paying rent, now you start paying that loan down, you start building equity, not only from the market, but also from the pay down of the loan.
Exactly. So you're building equity that way, and over time, you're going to pay off that mortgage and you're going to own that home outright.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's one thing to remember.
And one thing, obviously, we all know prices, not just prices of a home continue to go up, but rent continues to go up.
That's
so when you buy a home, you have a fixed payment that allows you to make a budget and live more comfortable, because I know many people who bought a home with me 5 years ago, their mortgages are roughly between $800 to $1,200, and they have a big home.
Yeah.
And this same home right now in the market is rented for $2,500. So keep that in mind, that time is very important. You need to come into the market, buy a home. And again, even if the interest rate is a little high, you can always in the future refinance and get that interest rate down. And believe me, that over time, your mortgage will be less than your rent amount.
Exactly. Yeah. Over time it will. Yeah, because rent prices do definitely climb. Another fear for a lot of buyers of making a mistake is, what about choosing the wrong home, Gavin?
Yes, that's important.
Have you heard that one before?
I heard that all the time. And then most buyers want to be in a particular location. They say, oh, I want this location. Location is important, but only if you can afford it.
That's true.
And obviously you need to there's a lot of things to think about when you're buying a home. You have to plan for the future. What are some things that are going to happen? Example, having kids, right?
Yeah. I mean, you may have bought a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home, right? And now you're looking to have a family of 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So in that situation, you have to take things in consideration.
Yes.
And it's all about preparation and planning, right?
Yes.
But if you get caught in a situation, there are options out there. You can actually go ahead and maybe sell the house down the road in a couple of years, maybe break even and move forward and purchase a larger home. Or you can rent your house out, right?
Yes. No, that's very important factor, preparation, because when I help my clients buy a home, especially if I know that we're going to be thinking about moving within 2 or 3 years or 4 or 5 years, and one of the things that I look at is also, can we rent this home and cover the mortgage? Because a lot of times, whether you move for work to another state, or you have to move, or you gotta be in another location, you can always rent it, cover the cost of that home. Now you have an investment property which is going to give you also benefit, deductions of taxes and everything, and it's going to start paying in sales. So it becomes an investment. What people don't realize is the easiest way to buy an investment property is buying your home and converting your home into an investment property.
That's one step you can do.
And move to another home. And again, you're able to use another low down payment program, and you don't have to put 20% down, because if you stay in your home and you buy another investment home, you have to put 20% down.
Yeah.
But if you make your home where you live an investment, then buy another home, now you could use a low down payment program again.
Yeah, so you do have quite a few options out there. We're just trying to resolve some of those fears that you have when it comes to possibly making a mistake when it comes to purchasing a home. Another fear is commitment, Gamalier, right?
That's the big one.
Not only in relationships, but when it comes to housing as well.
Yeah,
right?
And I can understand that. But being a bigger home, you obviously, being a big purchase, one of the biggest, largest purchases that you do, there's a lot of commitment that you have to do when it comes to your home.
And a lot of the steps that or a lot of the concerns that we covered, we mentioned already. What happens if I move? What happens? I've got a job transfer. I'm going to move closer to family. That's the fear of commitment. You have all these issues kind of arise up in your head, and there's ways that we can resolve that.
And one thing also, if you're thinking about, like I spoke earlier regarding possibly renting that home in the future, understand that if you buy a home, a particular condo, there's homeowner association with those condos and townhouses, and some of the houses too. But for the most part, condos and townhouses are very strict when it comes to rental. Sometimes they have a percentage. They could be rented, it could be 10 to 15%. Sometimes it's none. You cannot have no rental in that community.
Or you'd be put on a waiting list.
Yes. So keep that in mind, that that situation. So sometimes you have houses that have no association either. So you could rent as you want. And sometimes you have also communities that don't have no rental restriction either. So all this information could be found ahead of time before you buy the home.
Yeah, and in closing, there's a way to resolve this fear, right?
It is.
And a way to build self-confidence, and that's in education and preparation. It's no longer a problem when you know the solution, right, Gamalier?
That's correct, Alan. And obviously that's the reason why we do these videos, to try to give you the information, educate you, get you comfortable, and give you some solutions. So in case there's something happening in the future, if you're a homeowner and thinking, hey, I have to move, that you know that you have some tools that you could use to be able to either sell the house, make some equity and make some money, or be in a position where, hey, you can't sell the house, the market's not the right time. You can go ahead and rent it and make sure that carries the cost of the home. There's a lot of benefit in taxes, and one big benefit I like to talk about all the time is when you own a home and you've been living in the house more than 2 years, within 5 years, you get the highest benefit, and that's zero taxes on your income. When you sell that house, you make that profit, you pay zero taxes, and that's up to $250,000 for people that are not married, and $500,000 if you're married. That's when you actually have lived in the home, you have built equity, now you're selling, you're making all that money, and you're not paying taxes on it because you have that big tax advantage.
Yeah, definitely something to consider. So hopefully we resolved the topic here. We didn't buy, we were afraid of making a mistake. And if you still have some concerns, please reach out to us. We'll gladly answer them. And if you're looking to buy, reach out to the Sturgis Realty Group.
Thank you for watching the video. Have a great day.
Take care.
Bueno, sí.